Hi, Anita. This is David. Sorry for taking so long to get back to you. I decided I would record my answers. It's faster and easier, and I can give a better explanation to your questions. So this is the first time I'm looking at them, so this is my earnest, honest reactions. Your first question is why did you decide to create Spot Us? So you have to imagine it's 2008, and crowdfunding is still relatively new and kind of unexplored. I was a freelancer, and I kind of had this experience of stories that I thought were really good being rejected from editors, and I kind of wondered, well, why would I pitch them if the real, customer is people? And I'd also been exploring with a guy named Jay Rosen this idea of crowdsourcing or distributed reporting, right? 50 people doing 1 hour worth of work, does that equal or add up to 50 hours worth of reporting? And I'm a big believer in distributed reporting for certain types of stories, but I also realized that other types of stories really require one person, and that creates 50 hours worth of work on one person creates a financial burden. And so I wanted to see if we could distribute the financial burden. And so that's kind of where Spot Us came from. Again, it's 2008 when I was creating it. Why did you choose crowdfunding as its form of financing? Again, that's what it was. It was an experiment in crowdfunding. So yeah, I mean, we did other things. It was originally funded by the Knight Foundation, and other foundations and nonprofits sort of helped to get us started. But the idea was that we took, I think it was 10% of the donations that came in. What was the evolution of Spot Us during the 4 years that you worked there? The financial situation, the amount of projects and donations. So it's been about 2.5 years since I left after those 4 years, so I'm a little hazy on some of this, to be honest. The evolution was good. We funded, I think it was something like between 300 and 400 different projects, which had been published in 150 different publications around the country. And I don't know exactly how much we raised. It was about $1,000 a project on average, I would say. Although it really ended up being like there were some like $500 projects and then one like $5,000 project. So I'm really talking about averages here. I do know that I felt leaving, as far as an experiment goes, that my hypothesis going into it turned out to be true, which was this idea that donating money to journalism isn't new. People have done that before. All Spot Us was doing was saying, if you make it more transparent and more participatory, that one, it's better for the journalism, right? That process of journalism should be more transparent and participatory. And two, you'll actually get more donations. And so Spot Us, an unknown brand, had a pretty similar donation rate as NPR, if I recall, which is a very well-known brand. We didn't beat them in terms of percentage, which really would have proved my hypothesis. But I think the fact that Spot Us was an unknown brand, didn't have quite the same market reach as NPR, but still managed to get the same percentage conversion rate, really spoke towards my hypothesis. What do you think about the current situation of Spot Us? Again, I have not been involved in about 2.5 years. It's now owned by American Public Media. If I'm frank, I don't think they know what they want to do with it. They're trying to figure that out themselves right now. I think it became part of American Public Media through a merger acquisition that was planned, but it was part of a strategy that got rethought shortly after it was acquired. So, the team that sort of did the acquiring then left American Public Media, and so American Public Media had, acquired Spot Us as well as this strategy, which they weren't sure if they wanted to commit to. And so it's kind of just lingered, and now they're trying to figure out if they want to do anything with it or not. So what do I think about the current situation? I mean, it's out of my hands. I think American Public Media could do something with it that would be really exciting, but that's up to them. Do you think that crowdfunding is an efficient form of financing for the media? Do you think crowdfunding is an efficient form? It's certainly efficient. I mean, it's easy, which is to say, it's low-hanging fruit, right? It's not that hard to ask. I don't think it is enough to replace advertising, for example. I don't think it will build up to be enough to replace advertising. I don't think it is meant to replace advertising. It is in addition to. And in terms of revenue streams, it's a really easy revenue stream to begin to implement. And this, it looks like it's tied into your second question. Is crowdfunding promising for journalism? Certainly. Again, I think the idea of crowdfunding is kind of already in journalism. People have been donating to journalism for a long time. Spot Us or crowdfunding did not invent that. All crowdfunding is doing is saying, can we make it more transparent where the money is going? It's going to this project, and therefore participatory, right? You have a choice of which project it goes to. And I think that is very promising in terms of, again, the conversion rate. I think it'll get more people to donate to journalism than if you just sort of, donate to the organization. Um, and I think it's better for the journalism, to be honest with you. I think it in a way, keeps people more accountable um, to who's funding them, which is a plethora of people as opposed to a publisher and or advertisers. What do you think about the use of crowdfunding in journalism and, to be more precise, in the press? So this question, I think, is kind of repeating. Again, I think the use of crowdfunding in journalism and, to be more precise, in the press, you're making a distinction between journalism and the press. Again, I think it's good. I think crowdfunding is low-hanging fruit. It's easy to implement. I would like to see more of it. I think it's important, especially for news organizations, to begin to experiment in that, or they're going to have to rely on a third party, a technology company, to provide the platforms for them to do that, which is not bad, but it'd be better if they owned the platform through which they do crowdfunding. In order to perform the study, we need information about the financial situation, the online traffic, the target readers, and amount of donations. Do you know anyone at Spot Us that can give this information? Unfortunately, I do not. I apologize. I'm not sure. And right now, Spot Us is not taking any donations right now. I'm pretty sure American Public Media sort of put a halt to that. And they're not sure what they want to do with the organization going forward. I wish I could be more help with that, but again, I have not been involved for a while. But good luck, and again, I think it's a worthwhile thing to look into and to study.